Alrighty, folks, welcome back. Got the final round here from the 2025 National Open in Las Vegas. We're live from the Flamingo Hotel and Casino. And we've got the final round upon us. And wait, let me make sure that we are actually live. Yes, we are good. Final round is here. We've already got the leaders taking a draw. Very expected, of course. We had two players at the top with 6.5 out of 9 going into this round. They now each have 7. And these are, of course, Grandmasters Bilal Bilassine and Victor Matveshin. So they made a pretty quick Berlin draw. This was too expected, I would say. Both players half a point ahead of everyone else, not wanting to take a risk and lose out. So instead, they basically guarantee a tie for first, which money-wise I think is very, very good for them. But that leaves a number of players that can catch up to them with a win, specifically boards 2 and 3. If anyone wins on one of these boards, they'll be able to tie for first. So top seed, Vladimir Kopian, he's definitely playing for a win here against Sebastian Kostalansky. And Sebastian, I'm sure, won't mind to try and win this final round either. So I could expect to see a decisive result on this one as both players go for it. And then board 3, we have 2 more experienced GMs than the IM, of course. Emilio Cordova against Zhao Jinchao, both on 6 out of 8. And I'm sure they would also like to win, but it's very tough to do against a strong player. Let's see how they got their opening. So they got a Fianchetto King's Indian, D4, takes, castles, knight c6, knight c3, queen a5. Zhao already had this position earlier in the tournament. He drew with Gaia Magami, so he repeats it. Here Emilio plays e3, playing against queen h5, d6, knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, so pawn sacrifice. I think quite a well-known one, rook to b8. Black gets a lot of compensation because it's hard for white to defend everything here on the queen side. So bishop g2, bishop e6, knight d5, takes, knight d7, bishop d2. And this is our live position. So white's still a pawn up, but yeah, black has really good compensation in this position for the pawn. And definitely, very likely, I should say, is going to be winning the pawn back. So it's a question of whether white can give the pawn back in the most comfortable way. Because after queen b6, for example, you can go b3, but then you're giving up the exchange. You can try bishop c3. But then I think black is really happy to go into something like this, where, yeah, white's extra pawn is not very healthy. Chip Groover wants to say thanks for the analysis features on the dojo. Yeah, you're welcome, Chip. Glad you're enjoying it. Our site is improving every week. And then I want to check back in with board 2, actually see how we got here. So this is the other critical game we have with 6 points out of 8 for each player, in both trying to reach the leaders with a win. So white going for e4, black going for the Sicilian. We get an open Sicilian, and Akopian plays the Khan variation, which definitely gives white a lot of aggressive opportunities. He goes for c4, bishop d3 is also very, very popular. With c4, knight c3, queen c7, and now e3. One of the useful moves for white in this position, stopping bishop to b4. Black goes b6, white plays bishop e3, bishop b7, f3, d6, and now rook to c1. I actually had this opening a few months ago, the St. Louis Masters, and I had a very similar position to this one on the board. And the idea of rook to c1 is to discourage black from playing knight to c6, because then white could respond to this with knight to d5, which would be very strong. Takes, and then the knight on c6 is going to be won back, and white has a great position. So black could have played knight c6 here, and there's definitely some theory with knight c6 in this position, starting with d6, bishop to e7. So different move orders, but rook to c1. Now stopping knight c6, black goes bishop e7, bishop e2, castles, and white castles. Now there are also ideas of white just being able to play g4 in these positions. Totally possible, totally reasonable. G5 to follow h4, h5. It's kind of what I did in the game. I put my king on f2. White just gets this big space advantage on the king side, can take some space on the queen side. Very double-edged position. It's what we call a hedgehog structure for black. And black has kind of the classic development for here, but yeah, white is just basically getting anything they want on both sides of the board. So these positions are, tend to be quite dynamic and can blow up at any moment. So bishop e2, castles, knight d7, b4, rook fc8, queen e1, maneuvering towards the king side, queen d8, knight b3, a5, and now it's white to play. So a5, initiating some counterplay on the queen side. And do GMs choose this against lower rated opponents? Yeah, typically this is an opening players often try when they want to play for a win, even against equal rated players. But yeah, Magnus has played the Khan actually quite a bit in recent memory. And basically you can see why. It gives a very unbalanced structure. And that leads to lots and lots of compensations. But these days, white has kind of figured out, how to keep this stuff under control. So Sebastian, to me, seems very comfortable with the game so far. Of course, things always tend to blow up here. At some point, black will play d5, and that's going to be a big catastrophe in the position. So a5 now, already trying to initiate some action. And I think that white should just kind of keep the tension. I would strongly consider just dropping my knight into b5 and using this square right away. But then maybe black uses exactly this moment to play d5, now that the knight has left the center. And the rule of thumb is that if black can get d5 in safely, then they get some very nice dynamic play. Everything takes on d5, knight takes d5, b4 is a target. So we can definitely see Kostya in this one creating some real play. Let's see. So board 3, we saw this one. Zhao has given a pawn and playing for compensation. Oh, question. Yeah, does black want to take on b4? Yeah, definitely. Black probably takes on b4 right away and then goes d5. I think this is even better. And then this is exactly kind of what black is hoping for, where the position opens up and the pieces come alive. And this is kind of a nice version of things for black. So the hedgehog is very much like a counter-punching opening. I want to see board 4 as well. So then there's a number of players with 5.5 out of 8, and they are no longer in contention for first, but they can still have a good finish. And this is an interesting one. I wonder how we got this opening. This is board 4 with Grandmaster Robbie Kevlashvili against International Master Vyom Vidyarthi. And open Spanish. c3, knight d2, and this variation, h3, knight takes d2. White sacrifices the exchange, and it's supposed to give a very good compensation, but let's see, rook d7, king e2, and Robbie just trying to milk this endgame, which does look actually kind of difficult for black, because now white is ready to play knight d4 and go after this pawn. And if white can win 2 protected passers on the queen side, black will take on e5, but then white's pawns are very, very strong. So interesting endgame. I'm curious if Robbie will actually be able to convert this one, because it doesn't feel like white has a huge advantage here, but maybe it's very unpleasant. OTB, we'll see. Then board 5, we have Armin against Alexander Katz. Armin Mikhailian playing white, and he just lost a very big game on board 1 in the last round, so he is probably not feeling fantastic, but if he manages to win this last game, then he's back in the money, so hopefully he is still motivated. Katz defeated our streamer here, Dina Belenkaya, so he's probably feeling pretty good. But playing black here against a strong and wounded GM, it's both a risk and an opportunity, because you kind of feel like maybe the guy isn't in his best mood right now, and so he might be playing quick and rash, and we might be able to catch him. Money is very important indeed. And yeah, very sharp stuff here. We have like kind of a classic Queen's Gambit declined, and white just castles queenside. He could have castled kingside too, but he just goes queenside. He's like, you know what? Last round, National Open, I'm going queenside. You versus me outside right now. Let's go. Bishop e6, and both sides running their counterplay up the board. So very sharp position. We'll see what happens. It's hard to evaluate. I kind of like white here, generally speaking, but I'm sure black has his counter chances. But it looks really dangerous. Knight gets this e5 square. We got f4, f5 ideas. Black will have knight c4. White will put the king on a1. So we'll see. By the way, draw on board 4. So looks like this endgame wasn't that nice for white after all. Rook b6, bishop d5. Draw offered and accepted. So these players will finish with 6. And okay, that leaves us with a couple of big games. So board 2, board 3. Oh, board 3, some updates here. I just want to see what happened. Bishop c3, takes, rook b2. So Zhao with the pawn sacrifice, but very nice long-term positional compensation here for the formerly Chinese grandmaster. And yeah, whether it's enough, more than enough to play for something, we'll see. Right now I feel like it's going to lead to equality, but I definitely would kind of take black here. I feel like you win the pawn back, the knight hops around, white's bishop is bad, and we can play. But of course on rook c8, the bummer is that white can always play bishop h3 and trade the bad bishop off if they want to be ultra safe. So we'll see if anyone can make something happen here. I have a feeling this game will be drawn, and then board 2, we're going to see a big battle on this one. Let's check on our streamers. We had Dina losing a tough game to Alexander Katz last round, who's also a streamer. And this game she's playing against a player I know from Hawaii, Paul Ianuma. Let's see how this opening went. So Dina up on time, which is good. And yeah, they're only counting the games played on the DGT. So, but I believe they both have 4.5 out of 8 points. Okay, Nimzo Indian, e3, bishop d3, a3, solid. Okay, both sides developing here. Rook b1, rook b2, interesting maneuver. Rook d2. And now black has just played knight d5 and attacked the pawn on c3. So, very cagey opening from white. She got the 2 bishops, she got the pawn center, but hasn't really pushed anything yet. And now the question is, what does white want to do about the c3 pawn? Definitely don't think taking is good, giving up the light-squared bishop. Bishop b2 seems like the most natural move, because the bishop hasn't moved yet, and eventually we can try to play for either c4 or e4 and start opening up the bishop pair. But I guess you could also consider queen c2 here with the idea to follow up bishop b1 and give a little check on h7. And then another very little check on h8, and then take a very big pawn on g7. So queen c2 also possible. If takes, c takes d4. I don't see any discoveries for black, as we're just going queen takes queen next move. But even some endgame like this, I feel like black is not doing so badly. All the pieces are getting good squares. So I'm not sure I like queen c2. To me, bishop b2 feels like the most apparent move. But Dina here is thinking about something that she doesn't like, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm expecting bishop b2 here. Or possibly queen c2, but bishop b2 feels like the main move. Everything else I don't really like, giving the knight access to the c3 square. With c4 also not good, because black will just trade off our bishop pair, and that's kind of like our one real advantage in the position, so I don't think we want to give that up right away. Bishop takes d5, yeah, I don't like for the same reason. So bishop b2 or queen c2. Oh, whoops. What about going nuts and taking with the e-pawn instead? Yeah, I'm not sure. I really like that, just because, again, black gets knight a5 and puts pressure on the c file, and then we've kind of given them a target. So I feel like c takes d4 is definitely the more positionally sound capture like this, having less pawn islands. Okay, trying to go bishop b1, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, maybe g6. I guess black could always possibly try knight f6 as well. But I see the point. Yeah, definitely we have some ideas there. Maybe g6. And okay, rook d3. Yeah, I'd be really going all in. Tough to judge. Yeah, maybe king h7. You want to go knight h5 here, knight h5. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. This one we won't take. I feel like black can defend somehow, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's try this again. So queen c2. So clearly this must be what Dina is thinking about, because we have two kind of very clear options. So queen c2, take. Let's say maybe knight e7 is a better version of things. And then bishop b1. knight g6, something like that. Okay, we have a move. Okay, bishop b2 played. So she thought about it. She clearly thought about something here, but decides to go bishop b2. Maybe we'll ask her after if she joins. What her thought process here was. Maybe she considered this queen c2 and then c takes d4, which, yeah, I think was very interesting, with bishop b1 to follow. Yeah, her stream might be a little bit ahead of us, but yeah, we don't need spoilers. I think we might be a little bit behind on the game, so we might as well just watch live. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go, CD. So they're a little bit ahead of us. And yeah, I imagine we're taking CD here and trying to get nice center with e4. To me, it looks like a decent position, but yeah, black's play is also pretty clear. They got knight a5, knight c4 coming in, and so yeah, easy play. Let's see Kevin. Kevin's been struggling, Kevin Skull, but hopefully he can finish off with a win. Let's see what's going on here. So d4, knight f6, knight f3, c5, d5, e6, and he takes knight c3, d5. Not loving Kevin's opening. I'm not sure if he really knew what he was doing here, but in general, white should either play c4 right now to cover d5 or knight c3 to cover d5. One of these moves, keeping control over the d5 square, I think is best, but he takes, and now black gets d5. And so black center just looks very nice. Bishop d3, c4 kicks him back. Castles a6. Knight d4, queen c7, a4. Bishop d6, g3. Gives up the dark squared bishop, bishop f3, knight d4, bishop c6, bishop drops back to g2. And yeah, we got kind of a unusual structure here. It's some kind of French. I don't love a lot of white's decisions. I don't love some of black's decisions either, but I think I'm kind of okay with what Kevin has here. He's putting pressure on d5, so it's hard for black to play e5. Maybe he wants to clamp down with f4 and eventually bring the knight to f3. So we'll see. We'll see. Black to move here. Hello, never play f3. How we doing? Maybe black will double up on the f file. White goes queen e2 or f4. Brings the rook in. Okay, we'll be rooting for Kevin. Let's see Emily. Emily plays chess. Oh boy. What's going on here? So Emily playing black in this game. Had a nice opening. Bishop g7, castles. But white clamps down with this knight on e5. Except not yet. So takes, knight h5, knight e5, e6, f6. Oh, and sacks. Oh, bummer. Takes, and then white's kind of just winning the piece back. So rook f7, knight h4, f5 takes, knight f6 takes this one, takes, bishop d7, and that's how we got the live position. So we're down 2 pawns, but white's attack isn't so straightforward. So white here, I think, just needs to kind of play technically and just put the knight on e5, get the pieces out, and then use the extra 2 pawns. No, I don't think she's playing National Master. I think Emily's playing in one of the under sections. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's a different player because they've got like 2.5 out of 6 points. So if he was candidate master, he'd probably have more in this section. Um, but playing well so far. And let's check out Tony. Tony from the Chess Sharks. Let's see what was going on here. Tony is going to have an extra pawn because black cannot take this pawn on g7. There's rook h8 check. So black has to go knight f7 or knight to g6, and then white's going to be able to defend the pawn with rook to g1. Interesting. Okay, let's see how we got here. Jubava London, Tony's favorite. f3, g4, h4. So f3, e6, and he advances. Knight h3, bishop d3. Both sides castle queenside, rook e1, e5. Black strikes in the center, queen f5 check, g5. Takes, queen e6. Black initiating some tactics. But Tony kind of forced him into it because otherwise the pawn on d5 would be hanging if black just moves the knight away. So queen e6, black finds, trades, takes here, takes on g7, rook g8, and now rook h1. Clever move from Tony to trade off the rooks, knight to g6. And now it's white to play. So he can defend the pawn with rook h7 here. And the question is, will he be able to do anything with it in time? Because black, of course, is going to be running the king towards f7. Well, let's see. I mean, we have knight e2, knight g3, knight h5. That's one plan. Maybe some e4 break as well. Or f4, f5. Let's say we just start with this. King up. King up. King up. And so white can defend the pawn, but then our pieces are just completely tied down to this one. And it's not clear if this is good, because king is coming. We have rook h8. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Never play f3 doesn't like Verisov. Yeah, I mean, I've always considered Jobava and Verisov a bit different, because Verisov is with bishop g5. That's annoying. So funny. But bishop f4 I think is pretty decent. Rook g1 better. Rook g1 though unfortunately doesn't defend the pawn because black just takes, and then we'll untangle with rook g8 97. So I don't know, maybe white can try something like this. Knight f4. Maybe this is a try. Because if we get extra pawn in the knight endgame, that would be worth something. Yeah, this is tough to find. Yeah, Tony plays rook h7. More human move, but maybe he should have spent time there. But yeah, rook g1, that's not obvious. Yeah. I think the second idea is that if knight e2, e5, white can go f4. And then threatening f5. And if takes, knight takes. So if here, f5, knight e7, black is okay. But white can take. Rook g1, knight h4. Yeah, maybe better version for black. f4. Knight f5, rook here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Seems kind of annoying still for black. But knight f5 you don't have to play. Maybe can bring the king. Yeah, rook g1 definitely pretty annoying. Goes rook h7. But yeah, I feel like black just needs to bring the king in, and we'll see. We'll see if Tony can make something happen here. Let's see, we have a couple more games here. This game was a draw. Wanted to see what happened in this game. Oh, he won. Okay. All right, back to board 2. So, the leaders playing for first place here. Basically, if someone wins this game, they tie for first. So a5 we saw. White took on a5 and goes a4. And now black breaks with d5. So this is opening up. I'm not sure if it's in anyone's favor though. Like, kind of feels like everything is getting traded off. It's like trades. Maybe we can grab this pawn. But feeling super drawish. Like, this pawn on a4 is going to get picked up really fast. So d5. Yeah, of course, players have to be very precise here. So you can't just rush here and assume everything's coming off. But I'm not sure. Takes, knight takes, bishop takes. Rook c8, rook c8, rook a8. Yeah, I don't know. There's it's like only line I can see. Let's put it on the board again. Take. Knight a5, rook a8. Knight has to go c4, it looks like. Take. It looks like draw. Let's see what happens. He takes d5 on the board. We're about to find out what is going on here. All right, let me plug in. One moment. So after the draw on board 1, there is still 4 players that can reach a tie for first. So the 2 players on board 2 and 3. So board 2 here and board 3. Oh, and this game is getting a bit spicy. So if one of these players wins, then they'll tie for first with 7 out of 9. And then there's some kind of mathematical tiebreak that they're going to do to determine the winner of the tournament and winner of the trophy. How about the exchange sacrifice? So, yeah, let's say take rook c3. Black takes with white takes with something. Knight takes d5. Queen d2. Well, apart from looking cool, it's not clear how black makes this work. It's knight e3, queen e3. I think we're just up the exchange. We'll go king h1. So bishop b4 maybe, but then queen moves. And yeah, I'm not seeing the juice here for black. Like, pieces don't really have any targets. White's rooks are pretty good. Yeah, so I think that would be quite okay for white. Yeah, not sure what white's going to do. I mean, he doesn't really seem to have big chance to fight for the advantage here. Takes on c8, takes on a5. We've already looked at the line a couple times. That just seems like a draw. So one thing black might try is e takes d5, bishop b4. Little pawn sacrifice. All right, we have a move. Knight takes d5. So white avoids everything. Yeah, I think he was trying to avoid this perhaps, which I feel like is not that scary. Like, white should be able to defend here as well. Like, I don't really see why white should be worse in this position, but okay. Looks to even just avoid everything with knight takes d5. And yeah, now black, I guess, has a choice. He can also do this and take with knight. Try to get some imbalance here, but yeah, white would have to blunder, I think, somehow to lose this. Position is looking very, very solid. Well, it's last round. Last round, very tough, especially against a solid opponent. Kostalansky might be playing for Grandmaster norm as well. So far, he has 6 out of 8. And he's defeated a couple strong players, drawn with 4 grandmasters. So a win or a draw here, maybe gets him a norm. It's actually not clear. If he needs a win, then he's in trouble. It's going to be hard for him to win this game. But if all he needs is a draw, then I think he's got good chances. Board 3 though. We have this pawn sacrifice, and this one I feel like Zhao is kind of he's trying to push this one a bit, because he will have this knight versus bishop combo, which is very nice. He's got the more active rooks, and once he wins the pawn back, I feel like he's going to be better. I don't know. Maybe white is still holding this comfortably. He can try rook fd1. Then queen e2. You know, he's just going to keep squeezing him, giving him a massage. a5, stuff like this. Rook b3, rook d2. Ideas. So I feel like white is under a little bit of pressure here. It's not very nice to play with this bishop. That's just a very passive piece, not attacking anything. Whereas black's knight on c5 is a very nice anchor. So yeah, I think black is definitely more comfortable here. Okay, so we'll see if Zhao can squeeze out a win. By the way, knight d5, yeah, knight takes d5 played. So we're going to get some more chops here, some more exchanges. We'll see if either player actually can come up with something there. Okay, board 5. This was definitely the barn burner. The opposite side's castling. We saw this, h5, knight e5, knight c4, bishop takes c4, bc, and now white to play. So white gave up the light square bishop and opened up the b file for black's rooks just to leave his knight on e5. Now he has a couple options. Knight takes a4 might be a move because, well, I don't really like it, but it could be considered. Or he can just keep going for the attack with f4, f5. That's kind of what I would want to do, f4, f5. But black is getting some quick counterplay here with a3, ab2, rook b8, and so on. So knight takes a4 I don't really like because of queen b4. This feels like black is getting a lot of activity on the open files. Rook eb8, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Bishop f5 is a threat now, so this is very questionable for white. He goes a3. Useful prophylactic move, but it's costing time. So now when black goes rook b8, he's threatening queen takes a3. If white moves the king, then black has rook b3, so he's gone in this square. c5, is a breakthrough. Take, d4 ideas. He also wants to come here and then maybe sacrifice something somewhere. So white is really giving up some time, to try and secure the queen side. Very sharp stuff. It seems okay for him. I think he's definitely not taking on a4 anymore, because then the knight will just never be able to come back, as the rook is too strong. Black can also consider bishop f5 ideas somewhere, or even c3. c3, this kind of stuff, very scary. If knight c3, queen a3, black is breaking through. Queen c3, rook a4, maybe b4, but then rook takes b4. Yeah, it's a big problem. Okay, so a3, I'm expecting rook eb8, just kind of most logical move, then king a2, and game will continue. Let's see, board 6, more players I think with 5.5 out of 8. Christian Cruz against Gabriel Bick. Another open Sicilian here, so the GM playing Taimon of Sicilian with very double-edged position. Takes, knight e4, g4, queen b6. Tricky move, threatening bishop takes e4, c3, knight e3, knight d5, f5. So this one is blowing open here, with both sides having counterplay. Can I recommend a book I've been studying recently? Yeah, I was reading some of Agard's series recently, Thinking Inside the Box, positional play as well. He's also got a new book out, Mastering Chess Exchanges, which looks pretty good. Okay. Whoa, board 7. This is looking wild. Grandmaster Gabor Nagy playing for checkmate here. What happened on this board 7? So queen c2 Slav kind of thing. Takes, knight f6, a3, knight d7, g3, bishop d6, bishop g2. Is this tournament on chess results? I'm not sure. A lot of American tournaments aren't. But you can find all the results. Actually, I'll drop the link in the chat. Give me one moment here. Link is Vegas Chess Festival.com. So you can check out a lot of cool stuff on the site. You can check out the full standings, the prizes, the side events, photos from the tournament. So yeah, thank you for reminding me. In fact, I wanted to check the prize fund so we know what the players are playing for. First place, $10,000. Going to be shared among the winners. Second, $5,000. Third, $2,500. And then multiple prizes beyond that. And yeah, so these players are not in contention to tie for first, but they can definitely still get 6.5 out of 9, which would guarantee a nice prize. So I'm sure both players would love to win if possible. So e4, h3, knight e2, knight b5. White here I feel like doing quite well, jumping around with the knights. f4, black goes knight h5, bishop c4, rook d, and neither player wanting to back down, and boom, there comes the queen sack. Take, g4. So white had queen for 2 rooks, but with g4 traps the knight. Wow. So bishop c7, and now it's queen and piece against 2 rooks. Bishop takes h6, b3, some counterplay, h6. It's scary. Black has this very strong b pawn, but white is playing for certain checkmate. Very interesting position. Very interesting position. Yeah, we'll see when my next tournament is. Maybe in August, I'm thinking. I'll try to play again. Good books for opening principles. One that comes to mind is by Johann Helstein, Mastering Opening Strategy. That's a great one. So what does black do here? Great question. I would say move the bishop. Bishop d4. So pawn takes, bishop takes. And so this is where you get into like weird stuff, like check, knight e7, I win the exchange. I have a queen for a rook, and then b2. And I think black's winning. Queen b4, rook c1 check, you know? Okay, queen h4, queen g3. Thank you. Thank you, I see. Queen g3 better. But I'm just showing the kind of thing that makes this look, position quite feisty. Okay, but queen g3. If black goes b2, check here. All right, we can get the pawn. We got this one and this one if we absolutely need. But wait, this is mate. Whoop. This one. That's a nice mate, by the way. Mate in 2. That's a nice line. Thank you, Fortuna. Thank you. Appreciate it. We did just hit recently 100,000 subs on YouTube, guys. So very exciting times for the dojo. And yeah, Black is thinking how to survive this. But yeah, that was cool. 100,000. Now we're well on our way to 200,000, I guess. Next goal. So thank you for following and subscribing. Speaking of following and subscribing, let's check in with some of our streamers. Okay, Dina had bishop b2, cd4, cd4, knight a5, knight h5, playing for the attack, g6, and now white's turn. Wow, black down to 25 minutes, so he spent a lot of time somewhere. And now Dina is thinking. So Dina ahead on the clock. That is very good. What can she do here? Take a knight f6 check? I don't really believe in that. Queen g4. King h7. Not so clear, not so clear. Knight f4 I don't like. Black takes. So knight g3 we might have to come back, but then it feels like we lost some time. Okay, e4 would be another move. e4 looks nice. If takes, black's king is just kind of busted up. Bishop takes d5, bishop b1. And we have lots of attacking potential. Knight c4. Knight c4, rook c2. And if takes, we'll take back. No problem. No problem. We keep our play on the weaknesses. So e4. Definitely. If knight c3. Probably she's calculating this, because knight c3, not so simple. I think we have to take. Queen takes. And we're a little bit passive. At least our knight can come back. Knight f4, knight f6 check. Knight f6, king g7. We have something. e5. Not totally trusting white's position here. Yeah, e4, knight c3. So if takes and rook e3, then we've got rook c, queen c1. Yeah, I see. I was just thinking about this line. So knight c3, maybe queen f3. Takes, queen f6, takes d5. So if knight c3, then rook e3, rook g3 type stuff. Or possibly d6, I'm not sure about. But this would be a real barn burner. This would be fun. And this looks cooked, right, folks? Yes, knight e2 check. You would have to take with the correct rook, or you move the king to f1. But yes, this one would be important. That's kind of a cool line. E4. But knight c3, she has to find queen f3, which is not easy. Now, is that line so convincing? Takes, queen f6, takes d5, here. Well, you have to do it without knight c3, yeah, because if king f8, white can just take one piece back already. And yeah, I think it's very scary for black. But maybe black can try king f8 here. And white is going to have to do their best puzzle rush. Yeah, still super sharp. Maybe bishop e5. Whew. Yeah, tough to judge. Tough to judge, which is why I think it'd be hard for Dina to go for this. But let's see. Okay, she goes for queen g4. Queen g4 we didn't think about too much. This e4 was very, very sharp. Queen g4 makes sense, though, actually, because it steps out of the way of knight c3. And allows for knight f4, and we can take back with the queen. Okay, but the big thing is black is down on time. So even if the position is not like so dangerous, it's difficult to play on 20 minutes. All right, so what can we expect here? King h7. Actually, I don't really like knight f4 yet. Trading off. Maybe bishop b1. Reinstating the pin. Knight c4, rook c2. Tricky positions. Yeah, there's all these little tactics that could happen. Let's see what else. Yeah, now knight g3 is not so bad because we got out of the knight c3 somewhat. Though maybe knight c3 could be played anyway. No, but here there's like rook c1 and yeah, knight gets pinned. So the king moves. Maybe white just goes back knight g3 and just keeps the comfortable game. Okay, king h7 played. So we'll see. We'll see what Dina comes up with. Kevin Skull. How's Kevin doing? Alright, he assumed the position here. Rook e1. b5 takes the a file back. b4. Now needs to go back knight d1. He does so. Not so bad. I mean, I think the knight can return with knight e3. And yeah, how to evaluate this position? He's got some rook a6 annoying idea, but black just defends their queen b7. Seems like black is comfortable. He's got this nice pressure, but not easy for black to break and somehow activate this bishop. So I feel like it's kind of balanced. White has knight e3, knight g4, knight e5. So game can kind of turn either way. Okay, go Kevin. Hopefully finishes strong. Emily plays chess. Let's see, knight h7, queen takes queen. And she definitely took back, but maybe there's a DGT error. I'm not sure. So her game might be stuck for a bit. Tony. Oh, Tony was pushing the for this endgame. So rook h7. He goes for this f4, f5 plan, and black allows it. f4. He didn't go knight e7. He just goes king d7, allowing f5. Takes king e6. White takes a pawn. Now king is going to move, but now white is always going to be at least a pawn up. So he's got some chances here in this knight endgame to clinch it out. Okay, go Tony. Dragon comes in with the facts. Board 2, Kostalansky needs to hold a draw for a GM norm. Let's check board 2. So he just needs a draw. Bishop b4. And yeah, he's likely to get one with this position because it feels very, very solid. He'll move the queen, put his bishop on b5. He should be okay here. He should be okay, but of course his opponent is gonna put some pressure. Maybe considering bishop d2, forcing more trades. Then that allows queen b6 check. Not sure if we want that, but a bit of pressure. Like, I'm sure he knows he's doing fine. It's just a matter of keeping cool. Okay, board 3. This board I have some hopes for some decisive result because it looks like Zhao was able to win his pawn back finally. And he's gonna keep a nice endgame advantage here. I really like black's position. His rooks are better. His knight is strong. Maybe white will be able to hold it, but it won't be pleasant. That's for sure. And now black already wants knight c2 followed by rook takes e4. So black is already threatening to win a pawn here, which is pretty huge. So board 3, Emilio Cordova, he's under some pressure here as white. If Zhao wins, he'll tie for first with 7. Right now we have 2 players already with 7 out of 9, Victor Matvishin, Bilal Belassin. And if one of these guys on 6 points wins, then of course they catch the leaders, and then they'll have to decide the winner based on mathematical tiebreak. I saw there was a game that ended decisively, board 9, ended in a checkmate. Wow. Okay, let's just see what happened here. This is Alexei Bilic, also a player who is doing extremely well, playing against FIDE Master, Taimon of Sicilian. Some early trades. And black never quite getting the pieces out. Rook went to g8. Okay, h6. Rook d2, g5, f6, opening stuff up, and nice check and takes and mates, but of course it was all over. So Alexei Bilic winning a nice final round game to get to I think either 6 out of 9, probably 6 out of 9. Let's check in on Tadev. She's playing her last round. She's had a pretty reasonable event. She tries the old knight c6 here. Wow. Okay, sharp line. In the French. we've got in this middle game? White's got some 2 bishops, some pressure. Doesn't look super fun for black. But Tadev has a lot of experience in these positions. Maybe knight c4. Time for knight c4. We'll see. We'll see. We also have Isaac Wang against Omid Khaledi. Looks like extra pawn for white, but nice activity for black. Okay, too many games going on to keep track of everything. Dina here still thinking after king h7. All right, she's tanking. Board 2, we have queen f2, white playing for a draw. So lots of storylines still going. And knight takes d4, Cordova. Perhaps the biggest game right now. Cordova trying to hold this endgame. And it's really tough. I'm not sure how he does it. Like bishop b5, for example. We got knight c2. Rook moves, rook takes e4. Rook d2. Check. And check. Black wins. If bishop f1, knight e3 anyway. Rook b2, rook f1 mate, rook takes e3, rook takes f1 looks necessary, and we would get some rook endgame with good chances for black. So that's one option. The other option would be to just take on b5, rook a1, rook b1 check, take, rook back to b5, rook c5, black has extra pawn, good winning chances. So I think black is getting an extra pawn here. Whether it's enough to win remains to be seen, but it's not cooked yet, but it's starting to sizzle. The oil has hit the pan. The oil has hit the pan, and the heat is going up. And the tenderloin is being prepared. It's being seasoned. Things are being seasoned. Okay, board 5. Oh yeah, this was the one with both sides cooking each other. So a3, playing on the side of the board where his opponent is stronger. g6, playing on the side of the board where the opponent is stronger. King a1, playing on the side of the board where the opponent is stronger. c5, all right, finally playing on the correct side of the board. f4, correct. Rook b8, correct. And now white's a play. This g6 move really took a lot of guts because it gives white the chance to open the h file, to play h6. And now white has just gone d takes c5. Queen takes c5. And maybe wants to go knight e2, knight d4. No, I'm not sure. I think knight on c3 is well placed. But white is ready to swing over at some point. Queen h2. Now e3 is hanging. This is a tough one. This is a very, very tough one. I kind of like white's position, but black has certain counterplay as well with rook b3, rook e b8, and so on. So, oh boy. Double-edged. Double-edged would be how I describe this. Alright, folks, let me know which game you want to watch. So, board 2, not the most interesting position, but very interesting stakes. In that black wants to play for a win, tie for first place. White would like to make a draw, make a GM norm, guarantee a nice prize as well. Will he be able to do it against the experienced Grandmaster? Does black have enough juice here to really get something going? I don't really see it, but of course I've also lost many positions where I thought everything was fine and then the GM outplays me or outgrinds me. So I know the feeling. It's not going to be a easy hold here for white. Board 3, definitely not an easy hold. White under pressure because black is dominating this one. Another plan black has without this immediate knight c2 is to just go knight b3, knight c5. And like, how are you holding the pawns in the position? Knight on c5 is going to be brutal. If you play f3, black is playing f5. Yeah, let's go back to board 5. This is the really sharp one, queen d2. So these players are on 5.5 out of 8, so a win would get them to likely a tie for 4th place, I would think. And yeah, this one is tough. My instincts say white is doing well, but it's really not easy. So let's say rook b3 for black, playing for this counterplay. I'm not so sure black's attack is that good. Let's say rook h2, rook b8, rook over, and I'm going to argue that white is defending on the second rank. And now at some point white's going to be ready to take and start breaking through. Rook b7 maybe for black, trying to do the same thing. If hg, black is always going fg to keep h7 protected. So it's not simple, but yeah, I do feel like I would take white. Let's try again. Rook b3, rook h2, rook here, rook here, rook here. And what would white play? How white tries to win here. How white tries to win here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not knowing. Maybe a knight transfer, knight f3, knight d4. Put the knight on a beautiful square. Taking on a3, I think, doesn't work.
Is it okay if we steal the room?
Well, I'm in the middle of the commentary.
How long are you commenting for?
You know, like an hour. Yeah, we're in the middle of the last round.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then, okay, let me try, I'll be right back.
Hey, Sunil, good to see you.
Hey, Kostya.
Like that. Yeah, if you guys could maybe record elsewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, let me ask about
Yeah.
one room. I'll be right back.
You done? You want to join?
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's hop
That,
on.
I wanted to get your opinion on that endgame.
Yes.
And,
come
okay. Knight takes d5 was so tempting, but I don't think it's legit.
in. All right, folks, we got Tony on the show.
Hi, Dojors.
The Chess Sharks. Let's pull up your game we're watching. Actually, I'm a bit... Oh, I see. Yeah, I thought you would maybe grind it out. But,
Yeah, it was a safe play. But, okay, how good or bad is it? Knight takes d5 was it totally losing?
wait, so you won this one?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we were looking at it. Yeah, we didn't know.
Funny,
Gonna
funny didn't draw a game.
Okay, but let's go back. Let's go through it. So, you got this classic advance.
We got the Joe Baba,
Yeah.
the dirty Knight h3.
I feel like you felt comfortable here, right?
Oh, so much. We were kind of blitzing it out. And then e5, I think, is a soft mistake. I'm surprised it's not a question mark. A single one. No, not two.
Oh, there's no computer.
Oh, there you go. I think it's a question mark.
I've been looking at it like you have, just with the board.
Perfect, because I think queen f5 is too dangerous in most of the lines.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like your opponent's position is just kind of barely hanging on here, right?
Yeah, just
After
barely.
G3, so-
I mean, she did really good to hang on. Because after
Mhm.
queen f5, you push g5. Like, you don't want to give up the d pawn by moving the knight. So you go for this trade and you go for like the sketchy endgame, which takes like a lot of precision to convert, right?
Right. So, okay, at what moment were you saying knight takes d5?
Okay, we keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Rook takes.
So, yeah, this was all kind of,
Was it legit?
I thought, yeah, very logical, right? Rook
Yeah.
h1.
Rook h1 is super scary, right? Because the back rank threats and rook h8, like it's like barely hanging.
Mhm.
We play F4.
F4 here.
Oh, sorry. We protect the pawn first.
Rook
Then,
H7.
then king
Mhm.
over F4, knowing that the king is going to come closer. And then here, knight takes d5 is what I spent forever looking at.
Oh, okay. I
Knight
didn't
takes
see this
d5,
one.
F5, and there's two lines that I think hold for black, kind of. So first one, you have king e7.
Mm-hmm.
You pawn
Just
takes
give
on
the knight,
pawn
yeah.
takes the knight, and then you bring the king over, and then the hope is that basically the time that they spend taking everything on the king side, you have time to bring up your king, and maybe you can win that endgame. But I didn't think so. I wasn't like sure.
D2, like this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then you move up, and they play c6, and then you enter the dark squares. I thought it was too risky. But you're a master. You tell me.
Yeah, let's take a look. Maybe this one. Rook down.
Mm-hmm.
I think black's in time.
Right? Dude, I really wanted to sack the rook. King up, king over, king up. And it's a draw. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so. But it was super tempting. The other interesting line is what was it? It is knight takes.
Yeah.
F5, and then knight E5, F6, and then it was king over, rook H8, and then just king back.
Right.
And it's not there.
Yeah.
I'm so sad.
So this you could lose, actually.
I would lose.
Yeah.
I would lose.
I just comes
I
around.
would lose.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay, so I'm glad you didn't sack.
yeah,
This just looks like nice and technical. You just open the position and.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. This was cute. And then like the little precise you take with the check, you hit this pawn, and then you hit the check, winning the last scary pawn.
And now 2 pawns up.
And then here it was just a little bit more technique. Win another pawn. This one there was like a future fork, so she didn't go for it. She had to win the pawn. And then she was pretty sick of this.
Yeah.
After a couple of moves.
Yeah.
So,
This is good enough. Wow. Very nice.
So the most decent 1700 game I've played today.
Yeah. No, I thought it was very cool. Actually, I was just showing you one other idea we had in the chat. We were looking at it here, and then someone suggested this one.
Rook G8. And what? So the threat is rook takes, and then you do the fancy stuff with F4, F5?
Yeah, so rook takes. The idea would be knight e2.
Oh, 92. Okay, and E5? You push F4?
E5, F4.
Yeah, okay, this is good too. This might be even cleaner because it's cut. Wait, but rook back.
Rook back. Yeah,
Yeah.
then take here.
Yeah, and then knight over, and you have to enter this knight in game.
Right. So this one, I mean, not so
Well,
clear, but
I think this is less wing.
but you're up a pawn. Yeah. Well, rook h7, I wasn't totally sure. I thought black could like play c6 probably.
Oh man, C6 is so slow. Okay, if C6, maybe I still play E4,
E4.
right? Because you can't take on F4 because the rook
Rook
goes
h8,
up. Rook
right?
H8 always
Yeah,
wins.
good.
Which is why she was so antsy to get off the back rank.
Yeah.
So E4, and then you
Let's say
hook it
this
with,
one.
Okay, F4. Sorry, F5.
F5.
And this is like choppy. Pawn takes.
Yeah. Take back.
Yeah. You take back.
Problem is just the knight.
And then here we need our knight needs to be better before we do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe 92. Maybe we don't get there in time. That king's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's close. It's close.
And then I don't know. Wait, 93 maybe. Oh, thanks guys. I see some hearts and some pizzazz. Thank you. And then knight up.
Knight up.
Oh gosh. And yeah, in these lines, like all I can hope for is that black takes a bunch of time to clarify, and the king can get like a strong position against the pawns.
Yeah.
I don't think I can ever push this through.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
But the line she played, like allowing me to get the checks because she was scared. Like this is
This I think was just.
the scariest.
I think. Yeah, this was just good. Yeah. So very nice game. Very very technical. Just like hanging on a thread.
Apparently, we don't totally suck at this game. We just mostly suck at it.
Always nice to win the last round. How many points do you finish with?
I got 3,
3?
which includes like a ton of draws.
It was under 2,300, right?
Under 2,300. So
That's pretty...
I mean, I drew a 2,200, a 2,100, a 2,100. Like, we got some good games in, but we had a couple throws, which is terrible.
Well, it was a tough tournament. We're playing tough section.
Dude, they're all monsters. It's Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
they're like little U's. Ugh.
So, lots to work on from here.
Oh, so much, dude. I got to do more tactics. That's how you get good at chess.
Yeah.
More and more and more. Until you're a master, actually. But after you're a master, then you can, like, study endgames.
Yeah, you can chill on the tactics. Yeah, once you know all the tactics, you can just chill.
Yeah, then you do openings and endgames and like that. That's really like if I asked you or like other masters, like, what are you really doing when you're studying? Like, they're looking at openings and endgames and like position stuff.
Yeah.
Like, most of them are like so tactically strong enough that, like, it at that point it takes a back seat. But like, most of us aren't masters, so.
Well, you've got knowledge and skills. And then once you get to a certain level, you get tired of working on your skills. And you're just like, all right, I'm just going to try to add to my knowledge. So just know more things at the board. But satisfied with your performance overall, gaining points?
No, I wish I did better. I wanted more. Not satisfied.
Well, nothing like a tournament to get you motivated, huh?
Dude, I'm motivated. I'm playing again next weekend.
And where are you playing? Charlotte?
Yep, the Carolina Classics.
Oh,
it's
nice.
actually a very strong tournament. Hannah the Sauce, she's coming out.
Hannah, wow.
Yeah, dude. Maybe you should come.
Dang.
You're not doing anything next weekend. Okay, I'm sure you're busy. You got black belts to create.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired of traveling. I gotta go home.
Fair enough.
I will definitely come out to Charlotte at some point. I love playing in Charlotte. I've played many tournaments there. U.S. Masters. I played the round robins once. So I never played Alto, but I would really like to.
Dude, it's so fun. You could win it, dude.
Yeah, I know I could win it. I know, that's why.
Yeah, totally win it. You should. It's so fun, man.
That's why I want
But do you mind if we like quickly dip into Emily and Dina's games?
Of course.
Just because when I left,
Emily's game, we lost the DGT because it just ended here.
Oh, okay.
She took back.
So rook takes.
Yeah.
Shoot, what happened after this? Basically, it's a rook versus rook and light square bishop versus rook and light square bishop endgame, where she's down a pawn.
Just one pawn.
Yeah. Everything else gets like traded somehow. I'm not sure how, because I was calculating.
Yeah.
But she's on like a very worst side of maybe a draw, and I was worried. So that sucks that I disconnected.
Yeah, this one's tough. Dina.
Yeah, what about Belinkia? She
Dina was doing well. So we had this queen g4.
Yeah, I like this.
Knight drop back.
It's scary because
Knight c4.
Black's king side. There's no pieces over there. It's so empty.
But hold on. Black found knight c4. So he must have seen some stuff here. Rook c2. Dude. Knight takes e3. I think. No, does this work? Take on b7.
Yeah. Check and then take. Always check first, then take the piece.
So what do you want on rook c2?
What if they just play b5, like just holding? Actually, I think they might have played b5. No. I actually don't know.
Then knight is pinned, and we get bishop c1. We don't trade anything.
Yeah, scary. See, I think.
Nice, right?
I'm saying I don't like this.
Maybe she found something good. So takes e4.
Takes e4. Oh, but now I feel like you've lost some of your oomph. Unless your whole idea is to sack the d pawn by pushing d5 and just win on the dark squares.
Right.
So like knight moves d5. Something, and then like queen f4, trying to swing in and hit the pawn. Actually, like real ballsy and scary.
We were looking at a line earlier here instead of queen g4 to play e4.
Oh, in blitz I'd play this,
which I thought was cool.
No thinking. I play this.
Take. So, but on knight c3 though,
we ditch it.
The idea would be to go here.
Yeah, you just ditch it.
And then here. No.
Whoa! Queen f6. Yeah. Okay, after the take, the rook lift. Oh, right, the d5 right away. The battery's set.
There'll be 2
Ew.
pieces.
Brother, ew, don't do
pieces.
this to her opponent.
And I don't know. Like here, rook e3.
Yeah, no. I think you just die here.
Is
Ooh, no.
It's very complicated.
Ooh. Shoot, but yeah, Balinkia will bring it home. That's gross.
So
But this
here
I
we
like.
get-
That's your stage name.
But I'm still not understanding rook c2. Why wasn't this played?
What if you take with the other knight? Is there anything crazy like knight takes e3 with the other knight, and then something like queen c6, threatening mate? You're trying to get out of it? No, it doesn't even.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? What is it? Sorry, guys, we don't have the fish with us. We don't like fishing.
Yeah, but that's what makes this so interesting. It's like
What does she see?
because clearly both players, I mean, are not gonna blunder the pin here. I think he has to go b5, but then it's like White just kind of gets everything.
Maybe something changes here. Is anything different? Because this is like the same thing, but you've opened things up.
Yeah, this is the game.
What are they seeing?
So if knight c3 here,
I think you can just pin it again. Rook c1.
yeah,
And I think there's no knight e2 because knight e2 takes.
here, and take.
Jeez.
I think just take.
You need to chill out. Well. Is there back rank? No, there's not.
But
He's quick with it.
but there's still knight f1. Yeah, so I think this like.
Ooh.
I don't think this works for black.
Wow. I
So-
can't believe there's nothing. What is it?
So e4. I mean, he can still go back like knight f6. But I think she's thinking, there's queen h4, queen f4.
This is after the trade. I think the crux was still like, why not rook c1 right away
Yeah.
or rook c2?
Yeah. No, I don't understand.
That's
I mean, maybe Dina thinks like just this is more forcing, like just take an e4 right away, just like. And maybe she's right.
I mean the rook is a hanging piece. Hanging pieces fall off. Just maybe not right.
But yeah,
now.
this one would be the only problem, but it just looks like a piece.
Okay, is there any in between move after 93? Right here, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's just nothing.
So I think it would have been b5. Then white goes e4. Knight goes somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like a fun attack. Bishop c1, queen h4.
Maybe you shouldn't see queen bishop c1. If you miss bishop c1, maybe you think like this isn't as clean.
But even this is a better version compared to what she has. Because, like, black doesn't have the same activity.
All right, you know what? You convinced me. She just messed up.
Even d5.
She's not as good as you. I mean,
No, I'm just trying to understand.
yeah, that's why you're the IM, all right?
No, I have nothing to prove. I'm just trying to understand, okay? I want to ask her after.
Oh, she made moves. She made moves.
She wins this game. So takes
Whoa,
e4, f5.
F5. Whoa. That's a desperado.
f5.
That screams desperado. I mean, the hope is that, my guess is that after things open up, that black can counter on the G file and you survive. That's, I don't know.
Huh.
What else could there be? That's desperate.
That's a big move. Yeah, I mean, wow. Okay. So
I guess we gotta go through the
clearly
lines.
both players are. Yeah.
We
So
take.
takes.
We sack the knights.
I want to start with this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
That is you check the checks first,
but I'm not sure if it's
and then let's say rookie 6.
rook e6. The bummer is queen c1,
No.
c2.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That one tempi is actually kind of a pain. That's Actually, that one tempo can really cost you.
Yeah. I mean, there's other moves. Queen G6.
G6 and a rook lift.
But I'm not seeing anything like huge here. The bishop is just
It's just dead.
not getting involved. Yeah.
And now it's bad. You're losing.
Now it's just could be bad. Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, but like the knight sack is screaming. So maybe we take first with the pawn.
Yeah.
And then I still want to sack it.
All right, let's try again. We'll try again. One more time.
Okay. Here.
And
Because see.
rook e7 would be another move. That would be amazing if,
Whoa,
if it wasn't
hold
for
on, maybe rook e7.
if it wasn't for queen c1.
Hold up, but rook e7, knight takes, then push with check.
No, rook e7, queen
Oh, so
c1
you're
again.
right away.
So yeah, we
Even
gotta
when he doesn't take
we gotta play like h3 here or h4.
Okay, but you play h3 and black is totally fine.
Yeah.
That, Okay, maybe queen check. Queen
Well, h3. Where does black? How does black defend?
defend. Well, I actually am not convinced we're in trouble as black, but okay, rook g8 maybe.
Okay.
This is not easy
No,
for
not at
anybody.
all.
Because like, white is playing down a piece here, on top of the one they sacked.
Yeah.
And if black can get like a desperado, like a desperate like 93 hitting things with tempo, but hitting g2 like so nasty.
Yeah, no, it's a problem. Like rook e6, rook takes g2.
Yeah, like it's just see guys, he got the tactics. Whoa, what wait, is 93 not better?
Oh,
Double check when the queen.
excuse me.
That tactics,
Excuse
guys.
me. And then here is this.
Oh
Such a
no!
bummer.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
but
if
Icy had a good idea. Maybe
if that happens here, she's flying home today.
here. Getting a fight. Maybe this one. Here.
Okay, wait, hold on. This is looking more solid, except for that still.
But takes we ignore.
You can't ignore. I don't know. The juices say you can't ignore. Jeez. Man, are we sure?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, it's
dude,
pretty.
you're right. It's so quick.
It's pretty nasty.
And knight f6 is what I want to play, but you get it with check. It's just. Okay. Wait. Is there like any version of rook g1 that works? Any version.
Yeah.
Right, because if rook takes, you die. And so king takes, and you get like another tempi to do something.
Right.
What, okay, rook check now.
Yeah.
8. Rook
think we-
g6 saves the day.
Yeah. Now we try to trade with our extra exchange.
And 93 is too slow. Well actually, you know what? No, knight f6 doesn't work. Oh, man. You
I
have
think just check.
Yeah, you have the check.
Yeah. No, actually, no. I don't want the check. I just want to take.
What? But the check wins. It's like mate in 2.
No, because we're pinned,
Oh shoot, you're right. Hold on.
and then we're walking into this one.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think just takes.
Damn.
We're good. Yeah.
It's a little dicey. The
Yeah,
hard
you
part
got to
is
see
that,
a lot. Like rook d2 here.
It's dicey. The scary stuff is that like the fish will like figure all this out, but over the board,
In a
like you start to
second,
see
yeah.
ghosts.
Oh, it's very hard over the board. Yeah, because you're looking at a bunch of options for yourself, for your opponent. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't work.
Okay, but you got to take once, right? Like, what else do you do? Well, okay, we didn't explore queen h4.
You don't have to take actually. Yeah, because you're keeping the because you do want black to take on e4 maybe, and then.
Yeah.
So this is a move. Queen h3 maybe.
Okay, but queen h4 actually doesn't. It like. Okay, no, it does something.
Yeah, you're taking squares from the knight.
Oh, okay. I was saying like you're basically forcing the issue on d5 because if the knight's the only thing holding the queen from coming in. So
Has to take.
Yeah, I think so. I think he has to take, and you're actually happy he takes. So if you can force the issue here, I think you're mad chilling, right? Unless he breaks through somewhere.
This is a big threat, and then taking on e6.
Yeah.
So I could see this going wrong for black.
Dang. So really, black is dead.
Well, I don't know about dead, but it's not pleasant. It's not fun.
Dang. So you're saying you can hold this?
No, I'm not saying that.
Very nice.
Okay, let's go back.
You're right. You're right. All right, everyone's still playing.
Queen h4 played, by the way.
Yes.
So we're on the we
Let's
spent the
go.
same amount of time as Dina calculating ef5, considering we don't like it.
You know what? We were faster.
I have a queen h4. Although I didn't really see a. I mean, this might have been really strong. This whole thing.
The
Like,
Victor 2 version.
I didn't actually find any refutation here.
Is this door locked?
Oh, it might be. Instead of rook takes e3, we have queen e7. So wait, where do we have rook takes e3? Wait, help me out, Dragon. What was that line? So knight f5, or was that the queen h4 line? Take here.
Okay, chatters. We're seeing some lines from you guys.
Yeah, not sure.
Okay, but
Not
like,
sure.
so queen h4. Oh, this is where we're at.
Yeah, queen h4.
Queen h4. You basically force the take, which
Live
is nice.
position.
Worse than the issue.
Right. So we're expecting takes and king g7.
Yeah. You know what I like about this is that black, he's got 10 minutes to try to hold this. And at least for white, the moves are easy, right? You still want to pile up on the e file. You want to open things up. You want to move the knight and start attacking. It's like not that hard.
We gotta move. Okay, takes on e4. I've played Paul a couple times, and yeah, he's kind of a time trouble addict a bit.
Oh.
He's a good player, but once you get down to 30 seconds, it's hard to play
die.
accurately. Yeah. She's at 10 minutes to calculate the whole game. Simple chess.
Of course.
Nordovik, good to see you. Sorry, 1 out of 7. I know it's rough. I've done 1 out of 7. I've had some 1 out of 7s.
That hurts.
You just gotta, I don't know, you gotta take your licks, learn your lessons.
All right, just so we're clear, any world where queen takes here might be favorable, already hitting the pawn?
No.
Probably not, right?
No, maybe.
Like you're asking for the skewer to do something.
H4, H5.
But like, I don't know, the bishop seeing the queen, like it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it's scary. But it's very concrete. We want to just take here
Yeah.
and open up. So, no, this has some point to it for sure. Yeah, like if black is going on a rook e8, we still have time. You know, h4. But yeah, we kind of want the knight on this. I feel like we want the knight on this square.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
I'm not sure.
It's probably just easy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's check in with board 2 and 3 because these games are just very critical. Okay, board 2 still looking drawish.
What's the drama of the results? Board 1 already took like an ultra fast draw.
Board 1, yeah, fast draw. They get to 7 out of 9, and then the next two boards can catch up if someone wins.
Okay, so they're guaranteed to split first already.
Guaranteed tied first.
That's, you know what? That's a deal.
No,
I would
think
take
it's
that deal.
I think it's practical. Yeah, like two guys, 2,500. They've been playing all tournament, 2 rounds per day. They're exhausted. They're not about to try something new in the opening and lose. And,
Yeah.
Just,
and
ruin their tournament.
you know, they want to walk away and have a good night in Vegas.
Also, the way the prizes work is, they mainly split the prizes. It's only the title that is going to come down to tie breaks. So if there's 2 or 3 players on 7 points, there'll be a mathematical tiebreak. One of them will win the tournament on tiebreak, but the other 2 will still get a very nice payday.
And that's what they care about, right?
I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, so if 2 people tie for first, you gain first and second prize, and you divide it by 2.
Right. So Grandmaster Zhao, he's the last guy that can still, I think, really win this, because Akopian, his chances are not great here.
Ooh.
But but this is a rook endgame with an extra pawn. White is passive. This one is very winnable for black.
Well, what's nice is he can do this forever. For the next hour, he can push this.
Yeah.
And basically hope to grind this.
And it's unpleasant for white. You're just sitting there. You're like, I can't believe I'm defending this endgame with white in the last round.
And what's
begging for a draw.
what's this other guy at? 6?
They're both on 6. Yeah. I mean, somehow if black blundered his rook, then Emilio would win and tie for first. But
that's rough, because if you walk
unlikely.
away 6.5, you're actually walking away with not amazing money.
It's not bad. I mean, there'll be a couple players on 6.5, and
You can split it a lot of ways.
it'll be split. Yeah, many ways. Oh, I also want to see the Armin game versus Katz, because this one was fun. This one was freaky. H6.
Ooh, this.
He almost gets everything on a dark square.
How's this
Rook
not
D1.
winning?
Rook D1. No, Armin. Gotta go
Wait.
Rook H2 here.
Was this a Jobava? This looks like a Jobava.
This was Queen's Gambit. Kind of classic Queen's Gambit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've had this position.
But very similar, yeah. Okay, so now Queen B6 played, and
Wait, this is a problem.
he takes on A4. Wow,
I mean, it's a risk, but you might have to.
wow.
You open more line. Actually, I think you might just lose as white.
That's very risky what he just did. I mean, he didn't have to do this. Black didn't have any major threats. It's just kind of annoying, this pressure. He just snapped this pawn off.
I mean, you'd need some rock hard calculation to back this up. Because the tactics that become available by hitting both files with the rooks
I know, right?
are just so much to handle.
So scary.
And in any fast time control, you lose this.
Yeah.
Now, you're classical. You have 20 minutes, but 20 minutes is not forever.
No, this is tough. This is really tough.
It's so unpractical.
What about Queen D4 instead of Rook D1? I think Black would try to keep the queens on if possible for Queen B7.
Oh, are you sure this is scary? There's no knight discovered that does anything?
Maybe Knight D5. Or are you thinking, oh, this one? Oh.
Yeah, of course. With the checkmate,
Oh.
it's so scary.
Oh, yeah.
Even throwing it away,
Literally
knight
any
D7.
move.
No, not G6, because then he opens up and projects.
Fair. Okay, Knight here.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, why didn't Armin go Queen D4? That seems to force the endgame, actually.
Well, I think maybe he thinks the endgame is worse for him. At first glance, I'm actually not sure that this is better for white.
Really?
First glance, but I suck at this game, so.
But white has Knight C6, Knight A4.
That's a problem. Actually, yeah, those are both
If you
problems.
go here, then here and here.
Those are both problems.
I feel like it's nice. I mean, this H pawn is really.
No, you're right. Why didn't you play Queen D4? Queen D4, and you're probably fat chilling.
You're probably fat chilling.
Yeah.
You allowed Queen B6. Now you can't move your queen. Now he takes the pawn, and this, this could go either way.
I think white's gonna lose. I'm not gonna lie. Trying to hold this sounds horrible.
He is very tilted because he just lost the last round to Matveshin on board 1.
Ooh.
So this is going to be a tough,
Just trying to come back, huh?
tough game for him. So Knight C3,
I
Rook
mean, you just
B3. I would
dude,
expect.
the tactics around these, you're gonna get puzzle rushed here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like it. Unless he's like hoping. He dares to hope that now he can play queen d4, sack the knight to defend himself, and hope that he can win that way.
No, I mean, it might still be good for white. Like, this is a problem.
Now I think
There's 96.
yeah, 96, and maybe later in the future you like sack the f pawn to like give yourself space to get out. But
Yeah.
maybe it's not that easy then.
Okay, so takes queen a6, and now he's thinking in this position.
I mean, maybe just queen d4.
But queen d4, there's always 96.
Oh, you're right. That stupid knight. Wait,
Yeah.
why wasn't that there earlier? What happened?
Because earlier white was playing this with tempo. So if black either trades or
Yeah.
allows.
Wait, but
Oh, but maybe this was a thing, huh?
yeah, 96 still covers the square.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that easy.
Yeah, we suck. Okay, so queen d4 wasn't totally winning. That knight's a huge pain. Okay, after knight a4, in the position.
So knight d7, just to finish this off, I think is not so clear. It's king h8, and
Those
queen
covers don't work.
doesn't stay, yeah, on the diagonal.
Pain.
Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, maybe h6 was like actually not good. Maybe it was good to open up the file.
I mean, it's a nice pawn in the long run, but yeah, sometimes hg is better.
Yeah. Okay, but here, see what I'm starting to like is that knight c5 does cover knight e6.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe there's a desperate world. Queen moves, we bring the knights to touch each other. Oh wait, queen d4.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now there's no knight e6.
He's probably looking at something like this. But it's very loose, but like if it works, it works.
Yeah,
You're-
and then you move the knight.
You're good. So let's see. Knight c5 played.
Ooh, brother, ew.
Knight c5 played. Wow. So I think he wants
Hey.
queen d4. Oh, hello.
Do you want in? Is that? Oh, sure.
Yeah, come on in.
Yeah. I'll take a turn. Cool. You jump in, man.
Folks, we got Nordovic joining the stream. Maybe some fans in the chat. We're watching some of the top games here.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
I need to run up and end my stream.
Oh wait, let me just catch up. So board 2, the second pawn just fell. So Zhao is he's crushing it. Zhao very likely winning. 2 pawns up.
Nice. And is this the for the top spot?
This is for tying the lead. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is it looking like we'll get like a tie for the top, or how does that work? How does that all come out?
We've got 2 players so far,
Okay.
and then this will be number 3.
All right.
Yeah. So
Wait, so we could have a 3-way split at the top.
3-way split for first.
Would
Yeah.
they just split the prize, or is there some sort of like tie break? Or?
I think they split the prize, but then the winner of the tournament will be decided mathematically.
Very cool.
So
Very
yeah,
cool.
we'll see. So this one, yeah, I expect Zhao to convert. Not sure why Emilio went for that. He didn't have to do this, but might have just been lost anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, Rook e1, e6. Like there's no. Yeah, you're not getting a pawn back. It's just 2 pawns.
Yeah.
So this is gonna lead to board 2. Board 2 was very, very drawish. And we just got okay.
I thought you were saying
Here.
Copian would need to win to actually be at the to tie for the top.
He does need to win, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not looking like. Well, he doesn't have a lot of chances here. Not a lot going on. White's
Mhm.
covering everything. Symmetrical structure. Pawn on f3 is nice, restricting black's pieces. So
Got it.
And his opponent is playing for a GM norm, apparently, if he holds a draw. So
Oh, that's awesome.
he's very motivated. Yeah,
yeah. Wait for a draw. Wait, a draw will get it?
for him, yeah.
Wow. So yeah, that would if it's drawable, then I could imagine he's not going to fight for much more at this point. You know, if he can find a way through.
Yeah. So, how was your tournament?
Awful. I mean, I didn't get skunked today, so I got a win in round 6. Round 7, I had a bit of a. This is the second game where I was playing against a D6 A6 kind of Sicilian situation, and I guess, according to my game reviews with Caden earlier, it sounds like I'm just not playing fast enough. Playing a little bit slow, and every tempo matters and is super critical. And they don't even feel like there's slow moves in my mind, but I just need to learn how quickly everything moves especially that was a dragon line in the first game. The second game, yeah, we're G6 and A6, but they both started with C4 D6. So
Yeah, every tempo counts, huh?
that's the lesson. But it's been a really good time. Been hanging out with my crew from the old club back in San Francisco. So you know, it's been a good time seeing all of them. So yeah, and learning a lot. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, you were playing under 1700.
I am. So I'm playing up a
for you.
section. Yep. And so I lost everybody rated higher than me, and I beat the one person that was rated lower than me. So I mean, 1 out of 7 sounds terrible, but sometimes the ratings are there for a reason. They have meaning, and that was what I was learning. So yeah, lots to look at.
Have you been enjoying the time in Vegas otherwise?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, you know, we kind of we've had a little bit of a group, 6 or 7 of us, been hanging out, and we, you know, checking out different. We went shopping the other day because the tournament hall's a little cold in there, so I was recommending that one of the guys got a
Winter
long sleeve
jacket.
shirt.
Yeah.
Exactly, just to survive. I will say that it did warm up. I mean, the first day was real rough, but I think as the hall fills up, there's more people in there. You know, the temperature is not as ridiculous anymore, so it worked out. But definitely, I think a big tip is, just because you're going to Vegas, don't just pack T-shirts.
Right. Yeah, it's a bit of it's like the roller coaster where in open sections you're either playing way up or way down. In Vegas, it's either very hot because you're outside or it's very cold because you're inside. There's no in between whatsoever. So yeah. You got to dress for ambiguous weather.
Absolutely. I'm wearing my Chess Dojo hoodie at the moment. The old school logo.
Nice.
But yeah, shout out Chess Dojo.
Yeah, shout out to the dojo.
Yeah.
I heard you guys just reached 100,000 on YouTube.
Oh
So,
wow.
Well done.
Yeah. Doing a great job over there.
Yeah, big up and coming channel. We're rooting for them. Righty.
So there's 3 games then, the Copian, and then this is the third. Is this the third one for the top spot?
This is board 5, so they're not in contention, but they just
Okay.
have a very interesting position.
Yeah.
'Cause, this one I feel like is petering out. Queen C5. Yeah, Sebastian's just playing way too solid, and he's just not giving his opponent any chances here. Okay, if anything, actually, Black maybe needs to be a bit precise not to end up losing his A pawn, but I think he's okay.
Right.
And then board 3 is basically all but cooked. I mean, looks like Rook E1. Black did not go E6, which I thought was just the easiest, most solid way to keep the 2 pawns. He goes Rook E5, offering a rook trick, but now his pawn structure is worse. So here White has more chances to hold, although I think it's still winning. But I am confused why he didn't just go e6. This just looks like he keeps his structure really, really healthy.
Yeah. Oh, and tweets. Is he not titled then too?
No, both grandmasters.
Okay, I didn't see the. Oh, I guess they. Oh no, I see the title's just in the photo.
Yeah.
Got it.
So yeah, I'm expecting Zhao to win this, and then tie for first with the two leaders so far, Bilal, Victor, and then we'll see who has the best tie breaks. I'm thinking it's gonna be Victor, but I'm not sure, just because he's been on the top boards the whole tournament essentially. So,
oh wow!
So he should have good chances, but you never know.
So who's which IM is doing the best? Would you say? So it's about
Definitely this guy, Kostalansky.
Yeah, Kostalansky. Okay, cool.
From Slovakia.
Slovakia.
Okay, Queen C5, Queen D8 played by Kopian.
Have you had the opportunity to play Sebastian?
No, I've never seen him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My first time. I don't think he plays much in the U.S. Maybe he's a recent college player, or I don't know. Maybe just visiting for National Open. Also
Got
possible.
it. Have you been touring around up at the front much at all during the tournament, or sticking around here pretty much?
I went once. I went once to the tournament hall. Got pneumonia. Decided probably shouldn't return. You know, it's
fair
just,
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
People asking about the tiebreaker. Tiebreaker, I think it's like Buchholz, which basically means they take some of your ratings and then some of your results, and then they decide who did the best based on whatever the formula is. So I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's some kind of formula to figure out who had the best performance given their opponents. Okay, maybe Kevin, we should get you on. Let's take a look at your game.
Come on over.
We got one of our streamers here.
Yeah. See you later.
Thank you, Drew. Take care.
Cowardice.
All right.
Thy name is Kevin.
Kevin, how did it go?
I had a rough beginning. What I remembered is I still don't know how to play well against the Benoni. And I got a terrible. Well, I thought I had a terrible beginning, and then
Yeah.
like, I don't know why I took there. That was ridiculous.
Right.
Just play C4.
C4, knight
Right.
C3. Yeah.
Yeah, either one should be fine.
Keep control over D5
I don't know
basically.
what I was thinking, and I gave her this huge center.
Right.
It's like, what? What are you even doing?
Yeah,
It's
this
so-
did not look
Right. Now I'm just
fun.
suffering for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, but you kind of fought back. I thought you're doing more or less okay here.
Yeah, I fought back. And then she offered a draw somewhere in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it was in my head like, I'm kind of tired of this whole chess thing. It's been a lot of losses. I can't know if I can do it anymore. Okay,
but here it looks like actually you got what you wanted from the
yes.
position.
Now
Yeah,
suddenly
before.
I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna win this game. Like that was my thought here. Her bishops are bad. My
Okay,
knight-
this looks great, but
Yeah.
okay,
I should have taken it with the queen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to
That was a
keep
big
your
mistake.
square.
I know, and the whole thing was like, okay, I've got this backwards pawn I'm going to attack, but I got blinded for a second by the F file, Kostya. I was like, ooh, I'm going to make stuff happen on the F file. I could not make anything happen on the F file.
Yeah, help me understand this. All right, I know Queen E5 is the best move.
Yeah.
But FE, I want the F file, so I'm going to take
Yeah.
FE, Queen
Yeah.
E7, and then I'm going to go Rook A1.
Well, because I wanted to go Rook A7, to sort of like mess with the queen. I don't know. Kostya, I don't know.
No, I'm just going by
I
your
know,
logic.
exactly. The logic didn't quite add up.
Bummer. Yeah, this looks beautiful because
I
you can keep
know.
your pressure. You have this. You have F5 as a break. You
Yep.
still have Rook A1 and Rook
Right.
A7. And it's more annoying here because your queen is so strong.
Yeah, I know. After the game, my opponent was like, I was so happy you took with the pawn. I was just praying, don't let him take with the queen.
Yeah, see these kids and their positional understanding.
I know, it was ridiculous.
You are still better here, but maybe
Right.
it's not as easy. Ooh,
I-
Rook H7. Okay.
So I felt like I was better here, and I don't know, but I couldn't find a way to penetrate. And I'm looking at that B3 pawn. I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, if I can't make something happen and they can just like, why can't they just go like Rook A8, trade that off, put the queen on A7, come down, start pestering that pawn. I mean, they can't do that right now. I would checkmate them, but
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that was kind of the long-term thing I was worried about that caused me to offer a draw on top of having a terrible tournament.
Right. What happened from here after Rook H7?
There's no more moves in the book?
Yeah, I think we're still following.
Okay.
We're like 15 minutes behind or so.
This might have been where I offered the draw.
Hmm.
It was very
Yeah.
similar position to this.
Yeah, I mean, you're still better. H4, Bishop H3.
Okay.
Because Black's Rook on H7, I mean, is not...
Yeah, I didn't offer the draw yet, actually. I went first, like, queen
F4.
there, I think. Yeah, I think I went queen there first. But, yeah, it was, like, something like that. Yeah, that's a good point.
No, you're
H5
definitely
would have been
still...
good.
It's definitely still better here.
I know. I just couldn't find a way in, and it freaked me out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But I would say you're not necessarily... I think it's something I was telling Tony, too, yesterday. You're not necessarily looking for, like, a knockout here.
Right.
You're just looking how to slowly improve your position, and then eventually something
Right.
will come up.
And that's what I had been doing. And then I just felt like I was getting stuck. I couldn't see. Somehow I missed H5, which looks great.
Yeah, just improving the bishop.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't know how
messed up.
this will be useful, but one day, hopefully,
Yeah,
I'll get
exactly.
something. And then a lot of the end games are going to be nice, too.
Mhm.
But no, I get it. Last round. So, any main takeaways from the tournament?
Yeah.
Reflections?
Okay. I've studied the Benoni like 27 times, and it will not stick. I think it's
Mhm.
because I see it so rarely, right? Like, I study it, I go over it with my coach, and then I don't see it for like 3 weeks, and so then I have a hard time making it stick. I would like to feel more comfortable against that opening. I continue, I think, having like slight miscalculations on pretty basic things, right? Like we saw the last game. I don't know if you remember the thing where I hung the piece just because he could just take with the pawn,
Right.
and I missed that. And some of those are really haunting me, and I am trying to address them. And then your comment that maybe I just should play the Sicilian was really sticking with me, and I'm like, what? I thought I was a positional player, so I'm gonna have to talk to my coach about this and see what he thinks. If he's like, no, I've been thinking this all along. Kostya's a genius. So we'll
Actually,
see.
okay, another interesting suggestion. Maybe
Mhm.
killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Ooh.
You could try playing the Benoni yourself as black.
No, don't be crazy.
And
Not
then
playing the Benoni.
and then either you start to learn some of the problems
Okay.
and you understand why it's not such a good opening, or it turns out it is an OP opening
Yeah.
and you start
Interesting.
scoring wins yourself.
Okay.
And it does kind of fit your style in the sense that to me it seems like you're always looking for active play, and the Benoni is definitely ripe for that. So I don't recommend the Benoni to a lot of players, very few, in fact. But
my goodness.
for some, it is the opening that you might get addicted to. It might become your favorite.
Oh my goodness. I feel like you don't know me at all. I don't understand what's happening here. But it is not a bad idea to play some blitz with the Benoni just so I can see,
Oh, absolutely.
like, what do I hate to see against it. That's
I mean,
not a bad idea.
That's why I picked up the King's Indian originally, because I was struggling against the opening, and I did not think it was a correct opening when I started playing it from black side.
Okay.
But I told myself, well, either I'm going to find out how to crush it, or I'll start scoring wins with it.
You know what? That's a fair response. Okay, seriously, Sicilian. Which one should I play? Should I go back to the Najdorf?
Najdorf, done.
Do just do the Najdorf.
I mean, half your
You're a
games will
madman.
be anti-Sicilians anyway.
Yes.
So you should spend your time having something against C3 Sicilian and close Sicilian, knowing the plans there, and then the games that you get into Najdorf, just you'll be familiar with the structures. It's actually very annoying to play against like an experienced Najdorf player because you feel like even if you prepare some line, eventually you'll get a Najdorf position, and then the Najdorf expert will start doing their thing.
They'll do their Najdorf thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You want to hear one of the reasons why I stopped playing the Najdorf?
Sure.
I bought Anish Giri's Najdorf course.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, wow. This is what I'm Nah, I can't do this.
Look, Kevin, you're not Anish Giri.
I know. I realized that was an overreaction. I should have just tucked that aside and said, that's a reference. Let's get a course that's more manageable. But I didn't do that. Instead, I freaked out and just dropped the Najdorf.
Yeah.
Probably not the best idea. Okay.
There is a lot of theory. But no, I think it's more about, there's a lot of theory everywhere. So it's really just about trying to get the middle games that suit you.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, the tournament is done finally.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of the last game, and I actually had a moment where I was like, what if I just quit chess? Like, right now. Like, I just resign, and then I never play another game.
All right, no.
That's how bad this tournament has gotten. And then quickly I was like, what? You can't. What are you talking about? So,
Yeah. No, I've had
That's just funny.
those thoughts for sure. That's just normal. It's just a typical.
It was like when I was in the worst position in the Benoni there, I was just sitting there going, you don't even know what you're doing. Why? What are you doing? Oh, well. What is? We got a comment here about the Najdorf. Are these people saying I should do the Najdorf?
Let's see. Viral Stigma says, true, tons of theory everywhere. Avoided the Najdorf and instead dealing with classical Sicilian theory. There's theory in every opening. So it's really just about finding the structures that you want to play. I think about quitting chess an average 3 times per game.
Okay, good. Good. That's
every time I miss something, I'm like, why?
Well, okay.
Playing.
I will say I saw a random YouTube video that made the con look cool.
Con is cool.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll try them both.
That's another very dynamic one.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate the free lessons and chess therapy that you have provided me.
Absolutely.
It's made it so that I can continue to show up and lose all of these games.
Let me ask you, how was your experience in Vegas apart from the tournament?
I have not enjoyed the ice cold room playing hall. I have not enjoyed the DJ in my hotel room. But I have enjoyed hanging out with the people, talking to people who watch or listen to my podcast, and hanging out with you all. That part's been really fun. I haven't done Vegas things though. Like the most Vegas thing I did was like go get lunch. So we'll see. Maybe tonight I'll get Vegasy. I don't know.
Yeah, enjoy it. I think people always love hearing about the experience, and it is a festival. There's like over 1,000 people in attendance, and record temperatures both inside and out the hotel.
I don't know if your viewers can see. I've worn the same sweatshirt every time because I didn't intend to wear a sweatshirt every round. I was like, I'll just bring one. It'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. In case
something happens, and something happened. I did enjoy trash talking Boston Mike while not playing him. Right, like he was just playing some kid in Blitz, and I trash talked him a little. It was fun,
just from the side. That's how you do it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and the AC's on overdrive. I think they're losing $1 billion an hour here at the casino, but that's okay. All right,
Kevin. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, man.
All the best. Hopefully, see you again.
Yeah. See you soon. Keep up that upcoming YouTube channel.
Thank you. What was the one? It's like dojo chess something. Okay, folks, we are back to Dina's game. Dina, with the time advantage, 21 minutes against 4. And so we were watching this with Tony. 94 King G7. So white here gets some kingside play. But rook C2, bishop C1. Rook swings over, rook G8, and now Dina's trying to find a way to break through. So Nice thing for white is that all of her pieces are well placed. So she definitely has attacking chances. And there she goes, h5. Provoking black to play g5. And does she have a sacrifice looming? So black doesn't really have a great option here. H takes g6 is coming. He's got to go g5. He can't take. And on g5, does white have some sack? Oh, she spotted it. And queen e4. And it's game over. Yeah. Oh, so she's managed to trick the opponent. She lured the rook to c2. Rook g3, h5, and now g5, knight takes g5. So Dina looks to be breaking through. Otherwise, hg is coming. You can't move the knight because of knight f6 check. And queen was lost. And g5, knight takes g5. That's a full exchange. And then some. And black might have some blockade, but it's not going to work out. White's just winning this one. Black's king is too open. So Dina winning. Yeah, we are planning opening trainer here at the dojo soon. Actually working on a lot of stuff. Opening trainer, new tactics trainer as well. Turkish bathhouse. Yeah, exactly. It's all in the cards. All right, queen f7 played. So black spots the g5, knight takes g5, goes queen f7 instead. And now white's going to be looking for another breakthrough. So many possibilities here, many possibilities. Knight d6 is a move, but then there was queen takes f2. Hanging. So Dina goes rook f3. Whoops. And now black has to be very careful where they step to. Because if queen e8, then maybe knight d6 here, followed by rook f7 check, and white's starting to just enter. So queen e7 might be necessary. Now queen e7. Feels like there should be something. Queen d7 played. Okay. Queen Dina 7. Now, white can follow up rook f6. Fancy move. Rook f6 might be really strong, just going after g6. It's fancy, but it's a double attack. Oh, rook f6 is nasty, guys. Rook f6 is pretty sick. If g takes h5, rook takes h6 mate. Let's see if Dina finds it. Rook f6, g5 possible, but then we always take on e6 at the bare minimum. And I think that's a really nice position for white. Can take with the rook too. So rook f6, g5. Maybe there's knight g5 sacrifice as well. Actually, knight g5 is even killer, but rook e6 I think is already very nice for white, threatening rook takes h6, but this might just be a kill shot, because we're threatening here. If king g7, we have this one, and then we're taking here anyway. And yeah, no, black's king is opening up. No, Dina's winning this. Dina's winning this. Bear, thanks for the cheer. Much appreciated. Yeah, folks, the number of games here is just the number of times they've been live, but the players should have the same number of points. I think both players on 4.5 out of 8 in the very strong open section. So with a win, Dina would get to +2. Okay, Dina winning this one we'll keep an eye on it. Let's check back with some of the top boards. So Zhao did win this rook endgame as expected, and he joins the leaders. So we're going to have 3 players on 7 out of 9 as he was able to convert this endgame against Emilio Cordova. Wow, king g7 played. If rook takes here, he was just going to trap the rook with f6, I guess, and then bring the rook back and go king g6. Basically win. So check, e6, trades off the pawn, and here white resigned because he's just down 2 protected passers, hopeless endgame. So Zhao joins the leaders, Bilal and Victor Matveshin, with 7 out of 9. And here, Vladimir Kapyan actually has managed to keep the game alive as he tries to sneak out a win here as black. Very, very hard to imagine that he can do this, but he's still got some chances. Though I do expect this game on board 2 to finish in a draw. Then we have Gabriel Bick against Christian Cruz. This was board 6. Both players, I think, on 5.5 points. An exchange sacrifice here from white. Ooh, queen d8 check. Look at that trick. Queen f8, though. And they are just repeating moves. And actually looks like it's going to... We just caught this game as it's ending in a draw. Wow, very funny perpetual check, because if black takes the queen, then after rook takes, black is forced to give the queen back and gets mated in the end. Checkmate. So queen f8 forced, queen d4 check, queen g7 forced, and that's it. I think the game was drawn here, as neither side seems to be able to avoid the repetition. All right, let's see what other games we have. Actually, a lot of games have been ending already. We're just keeping an eye here, hoping not to miss too much action. Samrug Narayan against Tatev. Oh boy, this one white was winning. I think is doing well, though. Okay, this one, yeah, this one is just like completely exploded. White was doing well in this game, but now I've got no idea what's happening. Feels like black is getting some counterplay. What happened in the Armin game? Armin won. Armin won. Actually, we didn't see the end to this. Let's go back. Knight c5, queen d4, and yeah, we weren't seeing what black is going to do here, because white is threatening all kinds of discovered attacks, and this brilliant knight c5 move prevents black from getting to defend with knight e6, because white just takes and maybe takes here, goes knight g4, has a lot of ideas with the queen g7 mate. So black played c3, but then queen takes c3 and apparently resigned here, and seems like a early resignation, but perhaps he just has no defense. Like white is about to jump in with knight d7, queen g7 mate, and it's just game over. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing a move here for black. Wow. So that one escalated quickly. We weren't sure about this h6 push, but I think it was good. I think it eventually set up a lot of problems for black to deal with, especially this knight c5 was very nice, and then queen d4, and black apparently couldn't deal with the upcoming discovery. So Grandmaster Armin had a very up and down tournament, but finishes off on a win, gets to 6.5 out of 9. So there'll be multiple players on 6.5. Still comes down to board 2 if Akopian can somehow manage to squeeze out the win. I think it's very unlikely. For example, here, if they go for the knight endgame, then both sides are going to be able to take the remaining a pawn. And yeah, very hard to imagine black winning this here. Black is probably only in trouble as white's king is closer. So I think most logical result is for the a pawns to come off and a draw to be agreed. But we'll see. I think he's going to keep the queens on the board, maybe queen b7. Just to keep the tension. And it's not that black thinks they're better, it's just about just keeping the game going and hoping the opponent makes a mistake in time trouble. just maximizing the chances. But so far, Sebastian has played too well to kind of blunder this one away. So I think he's going to manage to hold it. And yeah, we do have the queen trade, which pretty much secures the draw here, I think, for both sides. Vladimir giving up on the win. Goes knight c5. I think knight c6 here is going to happen very, very quickly. White can also wait a move and go king e3 and then play knight c6, as black is not able to save the a-pawn. But knight c6 first, knight takes a4. And could be a draw for here. Could be a draw for after knight takes a5. I don't think more than 2 more moves are going to be played here. I think knight c5 and black offers a draw. The grandmaster likely offers, because usually lower rated players, we don't like to offer out of respect to our opponents, even if the position is completely done. It's just like it's up to them to offer it. If they want a draw, they'll give us one. But yeah, in situations like this, sometimes black doesn't even make their move. You know, they're just like, okay, draw. And yeah, white of course agrees. And looks like that was it. I think, yeah, the game basically is going to end here, which means, folks, we have 3 players at the top. Grandmasters Victor Matveshin, Zhao Jinchao, and Bilal Belassin with 7 out of 9. Tiebreaks here are not final. I think they have to wait for all the games to finish before they figure out who is actually going to win the tournament on tiebreaks. But all 3 players tied for first, getting a massive payout. A couple players on 6.5. So far, only 2, Gabor Nagy and Armin Mikhailian. It's actually only 2 players on 6.5. So they will also get a very nice payout, tying for... oh, wait, but there'll be 2 more players, because Sebastian and Vladimir are going to get half a point each. So there'll be 4 players on 6.5 tied for 4th place. So 3 players tied for first, 7 out of 9. 4 players tied for 4th with 6.5 out of 9. Once again, very sharp open event. All comes down to the last round. This game with Gabriel and Christian should end in a draw. Grandmaster Norm for Kostelansky sounds like, so congratulations to him. And let's check in with Dina. Dina was trying to break through on this one. Let's root for our fellow streamer. So rook f3, queen d7. She takes on g6. Rook takes g6. Queen h5, threatening knight g5 check. Queen g7. Black down to under 3 minutes. And now white's move here. And does she have rook f7? Rook f7 might be winning the queen right now, guys. Rook f7. If queen takes, then knight to g5 check. Hitting the queen. Rook takes g5. Queen takes queen check. Rook g7. Queen takes e6. Maybe queen h5. And it's not totally over, because black still has rook takes g2. King takes knight f4 double check, followed by winning back the queen. And if king f1, rook takes f2 mate. If king h1, rook takes f2. But maybe white is first. Queen takes h6, rook e8 check. And do we have a mate? It seems very, very close to mate. But minimum, I think white should be able to win some material here. Check. Check. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe this one? Feels like white should be winning. Yeah, really feels like white should be winning. We got rook e6. We got rook e5. Very, very close. Dina calculating. On rook f7, black can also take here. But then we just move the king over. f2 is protected. No, not this one. Sorry, not this one. King h1 would have to be played. Excuse me. And This, I don't see any hope for black. This is a threat. We're ready to take the queen. So I think rook f7, black would have to take. Knight g5, black would have to take. Take, rook here. And yeah, I didn't quite see it for black here, but it looks very, very scary. You know, there's like knight f4. Yeah, knight f4. And what does white play here? Because black is ready to drop back. Maybe queen f3 instead. Black has some discoveries, but yeah, knight b4. It's risky. It's not so simple. Icy saying maybe here takes knight g5, king g7, and take, and rook g2 again, king h1. Very sharp stuff. Yeah. Knight f4 possibly. Looking for a discovery to win the queen back. So bishop takes f4. There's rook to g5. No, very complicated. Yeah, it's not clear that rook f7 wins at all. And already based on these variations, I would be very tempted to just play g3. Where it feels like, okay, we just don't allow rook g2. We keep rook f7 on tap. Black has 2 minutes to figure out a move. We don't like just force the action and let them find everything. But it seems like Dina might have missed a chance here with rook f6. This might have been... Did we find anything for black here? Because rook f6 felt like a knockout, yeah? e6 hanging, g6 hanging, h6 hanging. This was pretty much game over, huh? Why not simple knight f6? No, I mean, good question. Why not? Here, can black somehow survive still? I mean, for sure white looks better. And maybe winning. Like this. Well, actually, I don't know. Because we lose this guy with check, and then it's 3 pieces for the queens. This would be super unclear. It's definitely really nice for it. Maybe just take like this. Yeah. And we're throning rook e7, rook h6, and queen f5. So this one I think is kind of over as well. So something had to go to f6. I think something had to go to f6. But takes, queen h5, and now down to 7 minutes for Dina. So this is critical. This is critical. So what to do? Okay, G3 played. Yeah, I had a feeling that this was coming because the other lines just looked super, super messy. And this one seems like white is still keeping the attack. Very crazy position. It's like opposite color bishops. Black's bishop does look really good on b7. Like it's a very nice diagonal. It's so nice I'm not even sure I can get the full arrow on it. But here we go. Bishop here. And but the thing is, since we're attacking with opposite color bishops, it's like white's dark squared bishop is a monster, and the bishops don't fight each other, right? So it's just about who is getting more threats on their color. So G3 now threatening rook f7, knight g5 ideas. Okay, black goes knight f6, hoping to be able to trade everything off. Can black get away with this? Is there anything white can do? Rook takes f6, knight g5. What's happening here? King moves, queen e8. Queen f8. Looks to be holding for black. So rook f6, we can take on f6 as well. Queen takes. And white can, I think, take, and this would be no more than a perpetual from what I can see. Thank you, Jake. Thank you. So does white have anything special here? Okay, Dina, 6 minutes to figure it out. Stuff is hanging. Stuff is hanging. Knight g5 doesn't look working. Knight f6, rook f6. Take queen f6. And then bishop. Not seeing it. Feels like black is holding here. If we make another knight move, we lose the rook on f3. Uh-oh. Yeah, black's piece is starting to look really good. So how is Dina gonna push this one? So takes on f6, rook f6. Does she have any ideas here? Doesn't seem like it. I think she's gonna have to trade. Maybe bishop f4 to follow. It's really risky, but maybe you could take and just go bishop f4. But then queen takes d4, queen f7. Yeah, so this would not be a thing. Queen f7. And, oh, but wait. Yeah, see, these positions are so complicated, guys. You see this? Do you see what could happen here with the opposite color bishops? So this maybe would be a draw. Okay, hold on. We have moves. Okay, takes. Yeah, h takes g6 might have blown it for Dina. Looks like she had like many good moves there. And now white needs to be careful here not to lose. Okay, bishop f4. Queen takes d4, of course. White also has this. Queen h6. Yeah. And then this one I think is good for white, because here I think black is black's just getting cooked here. Rook e8, so black has to go queen g7, but then this one and then this one. So that's over. That's just mate. Okay, so bishop f4 I think working. Yeah, bishop d5. Now the players are in time trouble. So white actually I think I would still prefer white here actually, because to me it looks like somehow our pieces feel stronger. Our queen is definitely stronger. We just have to make sure we don't get mated. Okay, guys, here's an amazing line. Rook e5. Queen takes f4. Takes rook c1. And then rook h1. And I'm pretty sure black is making a draw. Beautiful, huh? Beautiful. The game ends like that. That would be quite nice. Because rook e5 very tempting just to kind of like bring some pieces in. And it would threaten. It would threaten bishop h6, queen f7 stuff. Okay, queen e8. But queen e8, where's Dina going? Where's Dina going? We don't have bishop e5 at any point. So white needs to be super, super careful here because one wrong move and we get mated. So got to be extra careful here. Black also has to be careful. Black can get mated in a heartbeat as well, but the problem is when we're playing for a win, we tend to overlook the opponent's chances. Because we're just looking for our own ideas. But yeah, we miss one idea and game over. But queen e8, I don't see how black can punish. Maybe you should go queen g6 just to try to trade queens off. And then look for queen h5 if allowed. Queen e7 check. I don't think white would really have more than perpetual here. Black takes on d4. Black takes on d4. So queen f7, he wants queen g7. And if bishop e5, he's taking on f2. Uh-oh. So this is looking like an extra pawn for black. Queen takes d4. So if queen f7, queen g7. And I don't know if white wants to go for the endgame here, but probably just kind of continue. Queen f7 played. Now hopefully black doesn't go for this, like looking for this trick, because then you would lose. After, well, not lose, but you would run into this and this, which is giving white a lot more chances. But no, queen g7 played. Maybe queen e7 and rook e6. This is very hard to go for. I mean, it's not totally clear that white will have enough. Rook c5, you know, and yeah, maybe there's a perpetual, but yeah, it's very hard to calculate from afar and to go for that. Okay, so queen f7 and queen e8. Yeah, I think at this point Dina has just kind of acquiesced, and now she's happy with the draw, because not so much about the extra pawn, but it just feels like black's pieces are active enough to create sufficient counterplay that white doesn't really have the coordination anymore to create threats. A bit of a bummer. She was very close. She was very close there. Okay, top boards are all mostly done. Hello, never play f3. So Dina's opponent playing for the win here, which is dangerous. He just played rook c4 trying to take on f4. White has bishop e5 available, but I think black's idea is to go rook h4. But then f3? This, I would think, wins for white. Very risky, guys, to play for a win. When you play for a win, you open yourself up Oh, queen e5. Ah, I could just take again. Ah, of course. I got tricked because he goes rook c4. So bishop e5 just takes. Ah, this one. Yes, 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 yes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So we don't have bishop e5. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll quickly just go back a couple moves so you guys can see how this happened. But yeah, white was building up the attack on the king side, was very close to breaking through, but then ends up trading too much. Knight f6, and here really should have made a draw, but goes for queen e8. Queen g7 back, rook c4. Now has 2 minutes to find the move, which is not easy. Yeah, rook c4, very nice find. Maybe queen b8 here. Might be only chance. King f1 is possible, but doesn't look good. Bishop c4 and queen a1, and yeah, black keeps extra piece. Queen g7 check at the end. Rook c4, what to do? Queen b8 might be the only move. Just defending the bishop. Then things are still quite tricky, but yeah, white's queen starts leaving the king side. Black can try to go for the counterattack. Has to be queen b8. Queen b8, queen g4, and then trying to hide the king on g6. So yeah, queen g4, for example. Black's king starts coming up. Not easy. Not so easy. Bishop e3, yeah, rook h4, exactly. And white's getting mated. Oof, 1 minute for Dina. This would be a real bummer to end the tournament like this after such a game. She was very close, but unfortunately, guys, chess is a cruel game. Okay, queen b8 played. We'll see if black can find a way to get in. Queen g4, bishop e5 is a good point. And then white again gets counterplay. So this could still turn around. This could still turn around very easily. Queen c3 pointed out by Edward. That's very possible move, hitting the rook, hitting queen f3. Might be annoying. Oh, and play too, queen c3. So Paul Ianuma, not sure if I mentioned his rating, but he's quite a strong player. He's over 2200 USCF. His FIDE is lower, but his USCF is much higher, and he's feeling it. He's feeling it. So queen c3 is a problem. Uh-oh. Rook c1, black takes twice on c1. Rook f1, queen f3. Ooh, this is looking like GG's territory. Yeah, I don't think white has a defense here. I think black is just coming in with queen f3. Okay, takes a pawn with check, but king comes up to g6, and there's just no more checks. King g6 going to be played here for sure. What can white do? Okay, plays rook d1. Okay, last chance. She's going to take on d5 here after queen f3. Rook takes d5. There's no back rank mate. Queen takes d5, and then she's going to try to bring the queen in and look to create some counterplay, but doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Should be winning for black. Here takes, let's say queen takes, and now black just needs to slide the rook over to somewhere where it can infiltrate, like rook d4, rook d1. And that's, yeah, it's not going to survive for white. So white's going to try like queen e7, trying for some checks, and then it's still like, it's still not over. It's not over yet. Black has to find a way to cover all the checks, but it probably is winning for black. Rook d4 played. Oh, black is going, he wants everything. Oh, that's a nasty move. Rook takes d4. He's got queen e1, queen h1. Ooh, rook d4. And if rook c1, he just takes with check, and all the mates working in black's favor. So rook d4. Rook d4 is a killer, actually. Rook d4 is brutal. Next, white moves the rook, but then queen f3 comes. Oh, rook d4. And uh-oh. Hello, Dina. Dina fans, thank you for the raid. We were just watching the end of the game here, but it looked like, I think we're in a bit of a delay, but yeah, it looks like it was not a good finish for our hero. Queen g7. I was thinking about queen g7. Bishop e5. Bishop takes d4, but of course it's not going to work out. Sorry, folks. Rough finish. All the games actually, most of the games are done pretty much at the top of the National Open. For anyone wondering, we're doing the official commentary here. And we have 3 players at the top with 7 out of 9 Grandmasters: Victor Matveshin, Zhaojin Chao, and Bilal Bellassine. Tying for first, 7 out of 9. A number of players with 6.5. Looks like 4 players tied for 4th place, and then a bunch of players on 6 points. We're actually just wrapping up the coverage here. But thank you for joining. This is Dojo. Thanks for following. We've been doing the coverage all tournaments. And yeah, just looking at the last games here. Okay, I assume the Dina fans already saw the end of the Dina game. But yeah, this one unfortunately not surviving. Let's just see some of these other games. Tatev won her game against the International Master. Great news for Tatev fans. Wow, let's see how this one played out. Tatev is another St. Louis local. We had a number of them in the tournament. And yeah, they had this chaotic position. White with the 2 bishops, but black having a lot of space. Bishop e2, bishop c8, h5, h6. White running the h-pawn here, but black's piece is taking over. Knight f5, d6, knight back to f5, takes on h6. Rook b1, knight g4. Oh boy, okay, just tactics galore here. Knight g4, rook b6. Can't take because of the pin. White's queen is hanging. White goes rook b5. Black takes the queen. Says there's no mate. Bishop takes g4, looking for bishop e3, but rook takes b5, getting rid of all of White's attackers. And Tatev ends the tournament on a very nice note, defeating International Master and likely gaining some good points. So well done, well done. Alrighty, here looks like that was it, folks. I think that's going to do it for our coverage. All our games at the top have finished, so we're going to wrap it up here.
Oh, good. I need you to end and come with us.
Yeah, we're ending. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Thank you, folks, for following, watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary. Make sure to check out Vegas Chess Fest account on Instagram and on YouTube, so you can follow this tournament. The winner of the tournament, I believe, will be announced later because they still got to wait for all the games to finish before they figure out the final tiebreaks. But yeah, we have 3 players at the top: Grandmasters Victor Matvishin, Zhao Jinchao, and Bilal Bellassine with 7 out of 9. One of those players will be winning the first place on tiebreaks. They all tie for first, though, and win a big prize. And yeah, folks, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching and following, commenting. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll be back again next year, maybe as a player, maybe again as a commentator. It was very fun to commentate and not have to play the tournament, I gotta say. But yeah, that's going to do it. We'll find the raid here, and then I'll see you folks soon. All right, who are we rating? Twitch.tv. Let's see who's live here. All right, why don't we send it to our friend Blood Queen. Blood Queen's been improver lately, working in the dojo, working hard. Guys, go check her out. Give her a follow as she works on her own chess. And I'll see you guys soon. All right, folks, take care.